At this point, I've done one for Vegito. I've done one for Broly in terms of, what's it called? The concepts. And today, I want to tackle one last, I guess, concept for the Super Saiyan 3 Rose Goku Black. And I'm not going to lie, the last video that I made, a lot of you guys agreed with the kit, a lot of you guys disagreed with the kit, you gave a lot of constructive criticism, and I really enjoyed going through and reading those comments. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. If you have some time today, feel free to chill with me and give me some constructive criticism on how I chose to build the Super Saiyan 3 Rose. At the end of the day, this is just one guy's opinion on, just what I'd like to see out of millions of people who play this game. So again, it's just more of me getting that creative side out of me and just, creating these concepts in terms of what I think would be cool and maybe even unique. And I think that I built this character in a unique way. And I don't know, I still feel a little weird. Let's see what you guys rate. You can rate it out of 10. You can rate it out of 100. If you'd like, let me know what you'd change, what you'd add, what you do differently, what you think. And I am aware that Super Saiyan 3 Rose does have a transformation. This looks more like a costume change, right? But again, I didn't really watch Heroes. I guess is taking off the masks. I don't really know what it means, per se, but in terms of like Heroes lore. But it says transformation. I didn't build a transformation into this kit. I just said, let me show you, or let me build what I want Rose, or I guess the Crimson Masked Saiyan to look like once he's at full power. So I don't really care about the transformation in this video. I didn't really build like a pre-kit and then a post-kit. I just said, this is what I want Super Saiyan 3 Rose Goku Black to look like at full power. I don't even care. In my mind, transformation doesn't even make sense. Or not make sense, sorry. In my mind, the transformation doesn't even matter. This is just what I want Rose to look like. And let's just hop into it. Let me zoom in a little bit here. And if you like these types of videos, feel free to subscribe. We are on the road to 61K. Let's go ahead and hop into it. So Tech Goku Black Super Saiyan 3. His leader skill is Power Beyond Super Saiyan or Crossover 3 Keen 170 plus an additional 30% to stats for characters who belong to the Transformation Boost or Dragon Ball Heroes category. I did make this leader skill before his kit, and I did think at the time I was making this leader skill that I was going to build a pre and post kit. That's why I included Transformation Boost there. But as I continued building it, I was like, I don't even care about it. So, but I like if we were to acknowledge his transformation for a second, then this would definitely make sense. And this is what that leader skill actually looks like, by the way. So Power Beyond Super Saiyan crossover, the 170, the main ones, Transformation Boost in Dragon Ball Heroes, the extra 30%. And you have some pretty strong characters here. You have one of the 7th year LRs, both 5th year LRs. You have a Broly in there. You have the recent Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You have what's his face? God Goku. I don't know why I can't remember that name for the life of me, but you have a lot of of course Dragon Ball Hero characters in here and a bunch of other villains and whatnot. Not the craziest category of all time, but I mean that's pretty much what you can expect from Dragon Ball Hero leader skills, because we know that they kind of have to have something related to heroes or crossover in their leader skill. We go super attack. Greatly raises the defense for 3 turns. Causes immense damage to enemy. High chance of performing a critical hit for 1 turn. And this does work similar to AGL UI Goku. Where if you perform an attack and you don't perform a crit, the next super attack you perform is guaranteed to be a crit. Alright? Let's move on. This is his passive, a little long, but I built this with a specific goal in mind, so let me know. Let's just go through it slowly, okay? Foresees enemies' super attacks for 7 turns and attack and defense plus 150%. So for 7 turns, you will be able to see where the enemy is super attacking. And no, he doesn't have to be on the turn for that to proc. The moment the moment he enters the fight in terms of rotation-wise, like he has to be, of course, like, okay. When it's the same as every other character that has this ability, right? The moment he appears, it activates, and even when he's off rotation, you can still foresee super attacks. That's all I was trying to say. 150% the stats. Reduces damage received by 15%. And all extreme class allies key +3, starting from the turn in which this character receives the third attack during battle. I'll also say this, in one of the comments under the Vegito Blue video, I gave him, a little bit of guard for a few turns and damage reduction. And someone commented something like, giving guard and damage reduction to every character isn't like unique or something. And I agree 100%. The issue with Dokkan, and again, this is me. The issue with Dokkan is that bosses hit so hard that if you don't have damage reduction in your kit, your defensive levels have to be like at 400%, or like stacking defense, or just some other way of just massively boosting your defense, right? That's the issue with Dokkan. So I 100% agree. Every character getting guard and damage reduction is not unique at all, but it is so necessary. Either that, or you have to inflate these numbers so much, because again, bosses are not only hitting 2 times, 11 times per turn, but 3 of those attacks out of 11 are super attacks. So it's like, either you have really high defensive stats, or you have some built-in guard or damage reduction. It's one or the other in this current climate of Dokkan. So again, reduce damage received by 15%, and all extreme class allies key +3, starting from the turn in which this character receives the third attack during battle. And that third attack does include super attacks, but it's not limited to that. So if this guy is in the first slot and he gets hit by 3 normals, this will proc. He'll get 50% damage reduction for himself, and then all extreme class allies will get 3 key. That also does apply to himself, which is why I didn't give him key at the start of turn. He gets key from this after getting hit 3 times. And of course for the rest of the turn. It's not like for one turn. It's starting from that turn, moving onwards until the end of the event. High chance of performing a critical hit, and extreme class allies attack and defense +30%, starting from the turn in which this character receives the 5th attack in battle. So when this character hits or gets hit 5 times, you're now going to be giving yourself and all allies 3 key and 30% to attack and defense, which means Rose himself will be at 3 key and 180% to stats, right? Sorry, a little asthma going on, so you know what it is. And then what's it called here? High chance of critting. So in conjunction with his super attack, he'll have the ability to, like, when he super attacks, he gains this, right? But his first super attack can also crit. So if he super attacks and he crits and he performs an additional, you know for a fact this is going to be a crit, right? So this character could technically be a critting machine if you give him a lot of additionals. Plus an additional attack plus 100%, up to 3, and this sounds like a lot, but just hear me out. Plus an additional attack plus 100%, up to 300%, the next time this character performs a super attack after receiving an attack. So, how does this work? Because I can see some people understanding this right away and some people being a little confused. So, let me read it one more time, and then I'll explain it, in case reading it again helps. Plus an additional attack plus 100%, up to 300%, the next time Rose super attacks after receiving a super attack. So what happens is, let's say you have Rose Goku Black, right? And he's in the first slot, right? He gets hit with the super attack. Once he gets hit with the super attack, the next attack that he does, he will get 100% to attack tacked onto that when he's attacking. So it's not one of those like just a flat 100% buff. It's a multiplicative 100% when attacking buff. So when he gets hit with a super attack, the next attack he does, or next super attack he does, he'll have, it's essentially the same as 100% attack when performing a super attack, right? But it's up to 300%. So if you were in a situation where Rose Goku Black is in the first slot and he gets hit with 3 super attacks before he even attacks, he's going to be building this up here, and the next time Rose Goku Black attacks, he will hit, or he will have a 300% multiplier, so he will be hitting extremely hard. And this just goes with, I guess, the concept I was trying to go with, where this character is essentially like a demon. Like, the more you bother him, the more you attack him, the stronger he's just going to be. It's one of those things where you're in an event, and the more RNG, the worse RNG you have, right, the better this character could essentially be. The more times he gets hit, the more time he gets locked and gets hit with these super attacks, the stronger he's going. It's almost like an anti-RNG mechanic, but not necessarily. But it's kind of like that, right? So if you're in a situation, I've had situations where I'm in SBR, for example, and the first, like, the characters all super attack me in the first slot. If that happens with this Rose Goku Black, then of course he will be getting, and also the reason why I worded it like this, the next time he gets hit, think of physical Beerus, for example. Okay, let me just pull him up, actually. Let's go to cards. Let's look up Beerus, and this is again another important point that I want to bring up to you. So Beerus here has this ability. Let me delete this. It is plus an additional attack and defense plus 150% within the same turn after receiving an attack. This is only useful if he gets hit. I mean, I guess the attack part is only useful if he gets hit before he attacks. If this character is getting hit 3 times after Beerus already attacked, who cares if he raises his attack, because he's done attacking. He can't attack anymore, so it's over for him. The defensive part could be nice, but again, he has to get hit 2 times after he himself attacks. The first time, procs it, and the second time you'll see the difference in how well he's actually able to tank. But the point I'm trying to make is that this is conditional. Like, to see the full effect of this, he has to get hit before he attacks. With this build here, the next time he attacks, who cares what slot he's in? Super Saiyan 3 Rose Goku Black could be in the 3rd slot, then he gets hit with 3 super attacks. It doesn't matter, because the next time he attacks, after getting super attacked, he will have this percent multiplier when he attacks. That's the way I envisioned building that. Reduces damage received by 15%. And great chance of performing an additional super attack starting from the turn in which this character receives the 2nd super attack during battle. So he has to get hit with essentially 2 super attacks to get an extra 15%, so a total of 30% damage reduction. Plus an additional damage reduction of 15% and high chance of disabling enemies' next action once within the turn when attacking, starting from the turn in which this character receives the 3rd super attack during battle. So I know it looks like he's super, maybe even, like, I guess you could be seeing the, oh my god, he looks a little too OP, and I would disagree, right? He essentially has 3 ki and 180% of stats. He can build up to a total of 45% damage reduction. He can get up to a high chance of performing a crit, a great chance of launching an additional, and maybe even a high chance of disabling enemies' action. But we have LRs in the game who have higher damage reduction while disabling enemies super. Like this is not too much. The point where Rose could literally become a problem is when he gets super attacked multiple times, right? So that's where his attack could literally shoot through the sky. But it's a very limited occurrence, right? So just keep that in mind. Now, I also acknowledge that he is super attack based. He needs to get hit a lot for a lot of his abilities to actually proc, which is why I also gave him this. Survives KO attacks once within the turn for 3 turns from the start of battle. And recovers 10% HP up to 30% at the end of the turn in which each attack was received. So he can survive KO attacks, but once within a turn. So that means if he gets hit with a super attack twice, then in the first one was supposed to kill him, the second one will definitely kill him, right? So it's only once within a turn. So this character is strong, right? I wouldn't say he's OP. I think defensively he's good, because again, it's greatly raising defense for 3 turns. He has 180% of defense. He can build up to a total of 45% damage reduction. The thing is just he has to get hit a lot for that to actually proc, right? A lot of that essentially all the damage reduction comes from him getting hit, right? His support comes from him getting hit. His chance of crit, additional, disabling any of his action, comes from getting hit. And that's also why I didn't really add defense to this, because I think that would have been a little bit like that would have been OP. I think if you just look at defense, 180%, so 150 plus 30, 180%, 45% damage reduction, that's not OP. This is only active for the first 3 turns, so it's like, and are you really going to be getting hit that hard for the first 3 turns? Think about it. You're not, right? Some events do come out the gate hitting extremely hard, but most don't. So you can hop into a fight, survive those KO attacks, build up your damage reduction and all your other really good abilities, and guess what? You know, by the time you enter late game, you have your 45% damage reduction. You have your great chance to launch additional super attack, and then this character means he can perform up to 3 super attacks per turn, all of which could be crits. And you can only imagine if he got hit with a super attack a few times before, he's going to be cooking. And of course, disabling enemy's action, of course, there's a chance, right, to do that, but it's great. And with all the attacks he receives, he will be recovering a maximum of 30% HP at the end of the turn. Maximum of 30% HP at the end of the turn. Another great thing I want to point out here with this specific build, where is it? So, Power Beyond Super Saiyan and then these extra categories aren't necessarily the craziest, right? But something I do want to point out is if I go to, let's just pull up, Legendary Existence, and then let's pull up you. Oh no, not you. Sorry. Who would have it? God Goku. Let's go to Power. Hold on. Where is it? Where Power Beyond Super Saiyan? There we go. You'll notice that with Power Beyond Super Saiyan, you have LR Rose Goku Black here. It bothers me that Rose Goku Black and Zamasu aren't on Power Beyond Super Saiyan because, you know, but he at least is on here. And you do have, of course, a few other Goku Blacks that are on here as well. So he can work with that. And I guess another criticism you could have is like, oh wait, he won't really work too well with Zamasu. And I actually just thought about that, like Tech Zamasu. Maybe I could change one of these categories to kind of include Tech Zamasu in there. Yeah, I actually completely forgot about Tech Zamasu to be like the recent LR. So maybe I would change one of these leader skills actually to kind of include, because I would love to run those two together, right? That would be like obviously peak in my opinion. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you think just in terms of kit. He is heavily based around receiving attacks, but he becomes extremely strong for all the super attacks and attacks he receives and the abilities he gets and the HP healing and the survive KO attacks early fight. Like I think and of course the foreseeing is not just for you. Like the foresight is like for him obviously to get to see where the super attacks are, so for him to actually, you know, get hit with that super attack. But it's also for the rest of the team, so you know exactly what to dodge, what to avoid, and anything like that. So let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and peace.